Hi guys! Welcome to this presentation concerning the Phonology in Context seminar at the University of Bern. My name is Tarek Ganic, and in today's session we are going to look at differences of onsets in the English and Bosnian language. To get a better understanding of the topic, we are going to look at the structure of syllables first. We will see that syllables can be divided into different units. But more of that interesting topic we will see in a later stage of the podcast. We will see that syllables follow certain rules in English. I will show you several examples that illustrate the differences of the English and Bosnian alphabet, and moreover, a couple of examples to present you the differences of onsets in those specific languages. At the end, I will try to explain to you, with the help of the sonority of sounds, why such differences occur and what the reasons are for that. So first, why did I choose exactly English and Bosnian? As my parents are both from Bosnia and this is my native language, I thought that I could try to compare my native language Bosnian to the English language. This idea sounded very interesting to me. I think that the onsets are a good way to show you some differences which do exist between those languages. Now, just a brief introduction for those of you who are asking themselves since I started to talk. What the is Bosnian? Bosnian is a language which is mainly spoken in Bosnia. As visible on the picture, Bosnia is located in Europe. It is a country from ex-Yugoslavia. As a result of the war in the 90s, the Bosnian speakers are spread all over the world, and the language is spoken by approximately 3 million people. So now we know where the language comes from. In the next step, we are going to explore the structure of syllables in general. The following visualization should serve as a help to get a better understanding of the structure of syllables. I will explain this topic to you in more detail with the help of the word bright. Syllables can be divided into different units. There we talk about the onsets and the rhymes. The onset is represented by consonants at the beginning of a syllable. The onset can consist of one or more consonants, but in English a maximum of 3 consonants. We will see that Bosnian does not follow the same rule. The other part of the syllable is the rhyme. The rhyme is further split into the nucleus and the coda. The nucleus accommodates the vowel in the syllable, while the coda is again a cluster of consonants. In my example with the word bright, the onset consists of the consonant cluster B and R, br, the nucleus with the diphthong I, which in phonetics is treated like a long vowel, and of the coda T. Later in this presentation, we will focus on the onsets, which should be understandable now. Just a short side note according the rhymes. In songs, especially in rap music, we often talk about rhymes or words that rhyme. For example, shame and blame. So words that rhyme are words that have the same segment combination in the second part of the syllable, which is the rhyme, but do not have an equal onset. In this example, the rhyme aim rests the same in both cases, while the consonant combinations sh and bul in the onsets are different. To sum that up, we see that syllables consist of an onset, which is a combination of consonants. The onset is then followed by the nucleus, which is usually a vowel, and at the end we have then again one or more consonants in the coda. I've prepared some examples which show that not all of these parts or units are always mandatory. The first example shows that a syllable can consist of only an onset and the nucleus without the coda. The word see can be divided into the onset, which is the S, and the nucleus E. So this open syllable, which ends on a vowel, does not have a coda. The word abs shows that onsets are not always present. Here, the closed syllable starts with the nucleus, which is the vowel a, and is followed by the consonant cluster bz, which represents the coda. The last example shows that both the onset and the coda are not a must-have. The personal pronoun I consists of only the nucleus. The phonetic transcription for that word would be I, without any consonants in the syllable as seen. These examples have shown that in the English language, syllables must have a nucleus, which is usually a vowel. The onsets and codas are not mandatory, and therefore are not always present. However, in Bosnian, there are words that seem to occur without a nucleus. The following words show this difference to the English language. The word krst, which in English means cross, does not have a vowel in it. It consists of only four consonants, which are K, R, S, and T. Also the words prst, which is finger in English, krv, the word for blood, and smrt, which means death, do not have vowels. This phenomenon does not occur in the English language. Furthermore, those examples show that in Bosnian, four consonants can occur side by side, which in English is not possible in the onsets. In English, this is just possible in the coda. This special case in Bosnian is better shown with this example. The word čvrsto, which means tight in English, has five consonants in the onset. This consonant cluster is then followed by the nucleus, which is O. The template of English shows the structure of syllables in English and indicates the maximum number of the particular syllable part. We can see that in English, the number of consonants in the onset may vary from 0 up to 3. The V stands for vowel and represents the nucleus. At the end, we see that the coda can vary from 0 up to 4 in English. If we compare the template of English to the examples from Bosnian that we have seen earlier, we can see that the number of consonants in the onsets varies in those languages. So Bosnian has a different template than the English language. But not only that. Not only are the number of consonants in the onsets, but also some consonants in general different. The following consonants do not occur in the Bosnian language, while they are common in English. The voiceless lingua-dental fricative th, as in think, the voiced lingua-dental fricative the, as in the, and the voiced lingua-velar nasal ng, as in writing, are consonants that do not occur in the Bosnian alphabet. On the other side, there are consonants that occur in Bosnian but not in English. Those consonants are the following ones. The consonant ts, as in the name Zwian, or also the German word for goat Ziege, the ch, as in the name Chamil, and j, as in Jana, are consonants that are not present in English. So we have seen that there are even differences in the alphabetic system between those two languages. Now, let us have a look at the differences that occur in the onsets. Aida Talic analyzed the possible consonant pairs in onsets in English and Bosnian. According to Talic, Bosnian has a larger variety of combinations than English. She claims that although Bosnian has more theoretically possible combinations, because Bosnian has one more consonant than English, the consonants that are present only in Bosnian do not contribute a lot to the number of acceptable combinations. So the difference between these two languages with respect to onsets is indeed significant. So now we are going to explore some differences in the possible consonant combinations of onsets in English and Bosnian. I am relying on Aida Talit's work because she explored the differences of onsets between those two languages in more detail. The reference to her work is in the footer. Though I tried to find other examples, and I am using my own examples and words wherever it was possible for me to find some. So now, let's begin with the first difference I want to show you between the two languages. In English, it is not possible to combine two plosives, while the Bosnian language has four such combinations. The first one is ptica, which in English means bird. There, the voiceless bilabial plosive stop p is being combined with the voiceless alveolar plosive stop t. In English, such combinations do not exist. Bdjeti, which means to watch over, in English, is another example of a combination of two plosives. Also the words tko for who and gdje, which is where in English, are two plosive combinations. So this is the first difference of onsets we can observe between those two languages. Another combination of consonants in the onsets, which in Bosnian is pretty common, seems to be non-existent in the English language. Bosnian has 8 combinations of plosives and nasals. The first word knjiga, which in English means book, combines the voiceless velar plosive k with the palatal nasal nj. Also the Bosnian word dno, which means bottom, does the same with plosives and nasals. The word gmizavac, reptile in English, has the voiced velar plosive stop g and the bilabial nasal m side by side. The same applies for the word gnoj, which is pus in English, where the voiced velar plosive stop g and the palatal nasal nj are being combined. So in those examples, we are again able to see differences of onsets which do occur between those two languages. In both languages, s is allowed to precede plosives. In English, such combinations occur in the words spot, star, and scary. The Bosnian word sporo, which means slowly in English, shows that the same is possible in Bosnian. But in Bosnian, not only s can precede plosives, but also the consonants ch, sh, z, zh, and h are able to do so. The name Chkalja, which is a name, actually not the Bosnian translation for the word name in English, but rather a regular surname, shows that the plosive k can be preceded by ch. In Bosnian word špijun for spy, the plosive p is preceded by the voiceless post-alveolar fricative sh. Also, the next 3 examples show that plosives cannot just be preceded by s, but also by the voiced alveolar fricative z, as in zbirka, which in English is collection, or also by the voiced post-alveolar fricative ž, as in žderati, which is guzzle in English. The last example, htjeti, which is want in English, points out that the unvoiced glottal fricative h can stand in front of the plosive t. Okay, so in the next slide, we are going to look at 2 fricatives side by side in the onsets. In English, such a combination is not very usual, but it is possible. The word sphere shows that this combination is possible in English. Bosnian, on the other hand, has 5 of those combinations. The words scena, seen in English, ščepati, grasp in English, and čučuritise, crouch in English, show that those combinations are more common in Bosnian than in English. Also, the combination of the unvoiced alveolar fricative s and the unvoiced labiodental fricative f in the word sfera, which in English means sphere, and the last example, shvatljiv, which means comprehensible in English, where the unvoiced alveolar fricative s is being combined with the unvoiced glottal fricative h, show that two fricatives occur more often in Bosnian than in English. As we see here, English does not have a nasal-nasal combination, while this combination is possible in the Bosnian language. The word mnogo, which means a lot or plenty, in English has the two nasals m and n side by side. The last example we are going to look at is the nasal approximant combination in the onsets. In English, we have one such combination as visible in the word mu. Bosnian, on the other side, has three such combinations. Mlad, the Bosnian word for young, combines the bilabial nasal m with the lateral approximant l. Mlijeko, the Bosnian word for milk, has the bilabial nasal m next to the palatal lateral approximant l. Finally, the word mjesto, place in English, combines the nasal m with the palatal approximant y. In addition, Bosnian has also a nasal trill combination. In the word mržnja, which means hate, the bilabial nasal m is being combined with the alveolar trill r. These examples have shown us that there are differences when looking at the onsets of those two languages, and it seems that the Bosnian language is more flexible in combining consonants in the onsets. Talic argues that English is more sensitive to the minimal sonority distance than Bosnian. But what does that mean? To understand that, we are going to look briefly at the sonority of sounds. The sonority is actually the ability to carry sound. In the figure, we see that consonants and vowels have a different degree of sonority. The sonority of a sound is mainly determined by the degree of openness of the vocal tract when producing sounds. This can be observed by an individual. When producing a vowel, the vocal tract is more open than when producing a consonant. This proves that vowels are more sonorous than consonants. Furthermore, consonants in the onsets are combined in a way that they tend to be separated by a minimal sonority distance according to Clemens, i.e., they are not followed by consonants from the immediately following group on the sonority scale, but rather from the one after that. The segments that are more sonorous appear closer to the nucleus, which is also called the syllable peak. So vowels that are the most sonorous segments are placed in the head of the rhyme. Meanwhile, consonants are ordered within the onset in such a way that the least sonorous consonants come first, and those that are more sonorous are closer to the nucleus. Talic argues that the larger number of possible consonant combinations in onsets in Bosnian exist because Bosnian does not follow the minimal sonority distance as strict as English. This is the most important fact concerning the differences of these two languages. English is more sensitive to the minimal sonority distance and tends to combine consonant with consonants that are at least two levels apart on the sonority scale. In that aspect, Bosnian is much more flexible because they even combine consonants from immediately adjacent levels. To conclude, we can say that Bosnian has a larger number of possible onsets. There are much more ways in Bosnian to combine consonants in the onsets than it is possible in the English language. As we have seen, the reason for that is that Bosnian does not follow the minimal sonority distance as strict as English does it, and therefore the number of possible consonant clusters is larger than in English. So that's it for today. I hope I was able to show and explain to you the differences between those two languages in the onsets. Thanks for listening and enjoy your beautiful day. Cheers!